Good afternoon, everyone. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Hansel back from the Department of English Education. It's hard to believe that the year 2013 is almost over and we're becoming a sophomore. The good news is that the winter break is coming up soon so that each of us can have enough time to acquire diverse experiences. I'm sure many of you desperately want to go traveling during the break. I think traveling always leaves not only unforgettable choices but also we'll be able to learn valuable lessons from it too. Therefore, today I'd like to talk about the power of traveling. Judging from my experience, traveling makes people change a lot. I was grown up to be the only child until I started to go to school. I tended to decide everything without caring how other people feel, which means I was a selfish, stubborn girl. So that my parents wanted to change my personality. Thanks to my dad, who has a lot of chances to visit other countries when working, my parents used to bring me to other countries since I was young. I've experienced many unique cultures I'd never encountered before by actually visiting the places such as Egypt, Greece, or Turkey. When traveling, I've learned that there are numerous kinds of people on this planet and no one can ever decide what is right or wrong. I could also obtain much broader outlook and discover that I was a tiny little fragment. I finally got to put down all the unnecessary greed and egoism too. Therefore, I'm sure traveling gives you a bunch of time to think about yourself, even though it seems like you'll be busy taking photos when traveling. Here's my advice. Don't waste your time worrying about yourself when you're having trouble finding the answer. Instead, you should go traveling and have fresh experiences and enough time to take a closer look at yourself. Just put down everything you've been doing recently and start packing. I totally agree that you will get to find your own well-fitted answer. Thank you.
Don't act so shocked. You know who you are. At the dinner table, it's becoming the norm to constantly check for emails or tweets and Facebook updates. We consider the smartphone an extension of ourselves, a best friend, or even our soulmate. Today, I want to tell you some symptoms of smartphone addictions. Maybe you are addicted, or perhaps you know someone who is. You probably already know the symptoms. If you have more than 3 options, you could be in smartphone addictions. Here are some symptoms, and check yourself. At first, if you feel anxious whenever you do not have your phone in your physical possessions, and constantly checking the phone for new texts, coupled with the conversion to possessions. And third one is that your phone just vibrated and you felt it. Yet looking at the phone, you realize it's a false alarm. It's real and it's a symptom of addiction. Another symptom is that you're not listening. In fact, you have no idea what the person in front of you is talking about. Why? Because you keep checking your Facebook updates, tweets, and texts. We can also be failed in school. Poor grades can often be blamed on using the smartphone in classes. There are some apps that block social media. And the last one is, imagine that you are running to the store for 30 minutes and halfway there you realize you forgot your smartphone and you must turn around to get it. Now, here is the list that I mentioned. If checking and rechecking your phone comes as naturally to you as breathing, or if you feel anxious and restless anytime your phone is not near you, you may have technology addictions. Again, anything can be used. Okay, anything can be used, and moderation is the key. If you can use and appreciate the technology without letting it rule your life, or hinder those around you, then bravo. I hope you think about yourself and how are you addicted to your smartphone and resolve it. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, I major in English education with you. Today, I'm going to tell you about Korean wave. I think almost all of you know the meaning of Korean wave, but I want to focus on some unexpected and unfamiliar aspects of Korean wave. And I will start with the history of Korean wave, and now I'll move on to unexpected stars and unexpected countries, and then I will finally suggest some promising perspectives of Korean wave. First, do you know the origin of Korean wave? I think you might expect the 겨울연가 where Cheju and Byungjin starred in and got immense popularity in Japan is the origin of Korean wave. But the real origin of Korean wave is the 사랑이 뭐길래, which was televised in Chinese channel in 1997. After the soap opera, many Korean contents got very popularity in China and Japan. Then, let's talk about some unexpected Korean wave stars in unexpected countries. The Korean actress Chu Jae-young got immense popularity in China as she starred in Chinese version of 아내의 유혹, and Chaeyeon plays an active role as multi-entertainer. And do you know who is very popular in Indonesia? It's not an idol group. The ballad singer Iru got very immense popularity as his song 까만 안경 was used as the original soundtrack of very famous Indonesian movie. Then finally, we will talk about some promising perspective of Korean wave. Although Korean wave got very immense popularity in all over the world, but it should develop further. It should develop its quality, and it should extend it to diverse aspects of Korean culture like food or clothes. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Let me just go over the key points again. First, 사랑이 뭐길래 was the real origin of the Korean wave, and some unexpected Korean stars get very popular in diverse countries like Chu Jae-young, Iru, or Chaeyoung. Then, to develop Korean wave, it should develop its real quality of Korean wave and variety. I'd like to conclude this presentation by reminding you the bright future of Korean wave. Thank you.